We were hit hard before Christmas in terms of pupil and staff absence, lots of winter bugs going around. Also, lots of parents being cautious about the scarlet fever and the strep A that was going around at the time. We have had a decline in absence still since Christmas, since returning, which is great. But we are obviously aware that there are still high levels of illness around, so we're obviously still taking precautions around that.
So what kind of bugs and viruses are you seeing, all the obvious that are around at the moment?
Yeah, coughs, colds, just general flu-like symptoms before Christmas. Some children with temperatures, which obviously parents are really cautious around.
And COVID, is that still an issue in schools?
Low levels of COVID. I know people are testing less now, so that was one of the lesser issues for us before Christmas. It was really around coughs, colds, temperatures.
And with strep A, have you had issues in the school, or do you think it's mainly parents being concerned and taking the precautionary measure of kind of keeping kids off school?
We had a small amount of confirmed cases, but largely I do think, we asked the parents if children were symptomatic, please keep them off school, because inevitably you're going to get an increase and a higher level of cases in a setting such as a primary school, because they are closer together, proximity of the children and the staff, it is going to spread much quicker than in other settings. So we did ask parents to take that, and they were great. Our parents really listened and took on board, and they kept their children off if they thought they had symptoms of anything, which I think really helped.
I'm sure you're in the swing of things because of COVID, but how do you get that message across to kids, and what you're doing in schools to make sure that viruses and infections aren't spreading around?
I mean, across the trust, we talked about what we were going to do regarding this, type of thing happening over the autumn term. And so I know across all the schools we had increased cleaning regimes. We had touch points cleaned regularly within schools. We asked parents to be vigilant, like I said before, about those children that were symptomatic. We reiterated with the children about hand hygiene, the catch it, bin it, kill it approach. And we also tried to, at this school, because of the amount of illness we had prior to Christmas, tried to reduce the amount that the groups were mixing, which is something we did during COVID, trying to, keep classes separate where we can to kind of limit any spread.
When I came through the main entrance, I saw there was a hand sanitising station there. Is that the only one you've got in the school?
Oh no, we've got several around the school, and each class has hand sanitising equipment and sanitising wipes, and we make sure every classroom has a sink as well, so we make sure at times when the children are entering the classroom and leaving the classroom, dinners, break times, they have the opportunity to make sure they wash their hands as well. Are
you across the figures as percentages on attendance before Christmas and where you're at now?
Yeah, we're much better now. Now we've come back, full staff contingent as well, which helps. Before Christmas, the attendance did decline, quite significantly. It was even during COVID, before Christmas this year, it was actually the lowest attendance we'd had at times particularly during that last week before Christmas. But yes, we're on the up now, and we're hoping that, hoping we've had our phase.
How low did it get to? As a percentage?
We did on our worst day, I think we had about 20% of the children off school. I did contact public health during our outbreak as well to make sure that we were doing everything that we should, because it is alarming when you have children off. You want to make sure you're doing the best you can for the community and for your families and for the staff in schools. So I did contact public health. They were really helpful. They said we were doing everything that we could and that we should be doing during the period, which was reassuring as well. The government have issued this week some guidance about the return to school after Christmas, how they're still circulating at high levels. But like I say, fingers crossed, 3 days in, it's looking good so far.